Hey there. I just thought I'd make a quick little vlog to update you about some things that have been going on, specifically of the rodent nature. Um, I just got back from Home Depot and I had to go buy some rat traps and some sticky mat traps for like cockroaches and stuff. One of the gross realities of living in New York is that pretty much everybody, no matter how clean you are, has cockroaches or rats or mice. And I knew that was part of moving here and living with it. Um, was going to be like a thing, but once like the reality of it happens, it's such a bummer. We've been doing like super obsessive cleaning, like when you're done eating, I don't leave anything out. We wash it immediately and put it in a dishwasher. Oh, we have a dishwasher, which is the most amazing thing ever. I haven't had a dishwasher since I was 17 years old. And then I moved out of my parents' house and um, into the dorms for college. And then since then, every living situation I've been in has not included a dishwasher. Luke and I call it the marriage saver. It's the most amazing thing to be able to just like rinse your dish and put it away and not think about it. To be able to clean as I go when I'm making dinner instead of like this big old pile waiting for me at the end of everything. Um, anyway, I digress. All that to say, we've been keeping the apartment like super duper spanking clean, and all of our food is sealed up in plastic or glass containers. If you like can see kind of behind me, I always do that backwards. So you can kind of see behind me, I've got like a bunch of mason jars, and that's where I keep like my quinoa and my flour and my grits and things that I use, on a regular basis, but I don't want to keep in their cardboard boxes. Anything that's open and unsealed can end up attracting cockroaches or rodents. So we try to keep it all put away. And the other night, when I got home from work on Sunday, I decided I was going to paint my fingernails and toenails. And so I was sitting in the living room on the couch, with my feet up on the coffee table, just kind of chilling and watching. I think I was watching Mad Men on our iPad. And I looked out of the corner of my eye into the kitchen and I saw either a baby rat or a very, very large mouse crawl out from under our stove and freaked me right out. Quiet phone. Um, anyway, I, of course, then immediately thought, well, next day off that I have, I'm going to Home Depot and getting some stuff. So I just got back with the traps and the little glue pads and stuff. I've seen like one or two little baby cockroaches in the apartment too, and we take our garbage out pretty much every day so that it doesn't have the smell. And it has a lid, so even if there is something in there, it's not like an open. Um, but it doesn't matter how hard you try, like they're gonna get into your house and it's really gross. So I'm just trying to do everything I can to make myself feel better about it. I'm gonna start with this. If we still continue to have issues, I think I'm gonna pull everything out of our closets and look to see if there's any like holes that have been chewed and plug them up with some steel wool, which is an old like country kid trick that my dad taught me. And then try to seal over the holes so that they don't come back through. Because it's gross. Um, I don't know if you can hear in the background, there's thunder and lightning right now. It's been disgustingly hot the last 2 days. Um, Today it was 94 degrees at its hottest, but the humidity was at like 55% or something crazy like that. And on the Weather Channel, it said feels like 104, which, yeah, I would have to agree with that. It was really gross. I felt like I could cut through the air with a knife. It was so thick. Um, and I just got back from running errands right before it started raining, and I love it because it's cooling things down, and also we don't get summer storms like this in Santa Cruz. It's still really warm outside, even though it's raining with thunder and lightning and everything. Um, but it it does it. I feel like the temperature's already dropped like 10 degrees from before, which is nice. But it's just not. This is kind of a. I'm sure I'll get over it eventually, but right now it's such a novelty for me. to have like the summer storm, the typical summer storm that you always hear about in areas that aren't the central coast of California, where the weather is a lot more mild. So I'm kind of enjoying that right now. I'm waiting for Luke to get home from work, and we were going to try to eat dinner on the roof tonight, which obviously isn't going to happen because I think it's going to keep raining through tomorrow. But we're just looking forward to kind of relaxing and doing that kind of homebody thing tonight, especially because with the rain, it's just not fun to be out and walking around in it. It's, you know, everywhere that we go, we walk for the most part. We're either walking to a subway station or a bus stop. We don't take cabs. That's just something that we never got in the habit of, and they're really expensive. And we're kind of broke right now, so we do that. But our nearest like hangout spot that we have found that we really like is, I don't know, like a little over half a mile from our house. We just walk straight down our street, which is Putnam, and we end up at this place called the Fulton Grand. We're such like beer snobs that it's the perfect spot for us. In fact, we have a beer snob friend coming to stay with us in September, and we're really excited to show him the place. But it's just like kind of a quaint neighborhood place, and it seems like they change the selections that they have on like, I don't know, every couple of days, so that there's always something new to try. And it's got like a pretty like chill vibe, and it's a really good mix of different people. Living in Bedford-Stuyvesant, which is the part of Brooklyn we are in, is an interesting experience coming from Santa Cruz because it's a lot more ethnically diverse, and I like that fact of it. Having come from Fresno to the Central Coast was a big shock at first because Fresno is a lot more ethnically diverse too. But then going to Santa Cruz, it's a pretty whitewashed area, and so you don't get a lot of variety. You don't get a lot of people just coming from different walks of life in that aspect. So anyway, we're enjoying that, and we're enjoying some of the little like places that we're finding around here. So far, like this morning, I got up really early to do laundry before it got hot outside, so I was home by like 10:30 after having done laundry in the morning. The closest good laundromat that has good air conditioning in it, has clean machines that actually work and don't eat your quarters, is 1 block over and 6 blocks up from us, so it's kind of a trek. And I have discovered Mexican food does not really exist in New York in general. New Yorker Mexican food is not the same thing as real Mexican food, and anybody who has moved here from the Southwest or from California can attest to that. I have a coworker who's from Arizona, and he's like given me some tips for some places to go because he also has experienced the disappointment of the like super bland and not well-made Mexican food that exists out here. So we've experimented with a couple of places, but there's a place that's actually right next to the laundromat that makes really, really good Mexican food, including this amazing chicken mole burrito, which if I go later in the day for lunch, I will definitely get that to eat while I'm doing my laundry because I hate doing laundry, so I need to treat myself to make myself like feel better about the experience or something. And so that's been a fun little gem. We've discovered a coffee shop called Outpost, which has a really nice feel to it on the interior. It reminds me of Cafe Pergolesi, which is a coffee shop I used to work in Santa Cruz, where it's an older building. There's wood floors. There's quirks of an older building, and then there's a backyard sitting area. Pergs had a wraparound porch, but it's the same idea where there's an outdoor sitting area, and they also have different beers on tap, which Pergolesi also had. So that was really cool. And so we really like that place. They also have good food that's actually made there, which Pergs did not have. It was always like reheatable stuff. I discovered a new coffee shop this morning, one street to the west of the laundromat. I was looking for just some good coffee, and I found one called Bedford Hill, and they have really, really good coffee. In fact, it was so strong it made me a little jittery, and I wished that I had eaten more for breakfast. For breakfast, I treated myself to some shortbread from a place called Scratch Bread Brooklyn, and it's on the way to the laundromat, and it's really yummy. They have all sorts of amazing things and like breakfast sandwiches, and you can get like eggs and toast and simple stuff like that, or you can get something. I had something last week called the V button, and it's like a shortbread crust with like hazelnuts and a couple of other. I'm sorry, I keep looking outside, but the lightning's like going off right now, and it's really cool. But it had blackberry and black pepper um, like jam or compote in it with a hazelnut on top, and that was really good. Um, so we're kind of discovering different things about our neighborhood, and we really like staying in Bed-Stuy when we can. But a lot of our friends that live here, as in like all three of them, live up in Bushwick, the part of Bushwick that kind of borders up against Williamsburg. So we end up going up there a lot to meet up with people, or Luke will come up there because I'm working up in Williamsburg, which is to our north. He'll come up sometimes and meet me afterwards. In fact, last night he came after I got off of work, and we walked over to try a new place and found out that they had the Giants game on, which was great because we miss going to baseball games to see the Giants play. And they had already played the Mets this year when we had moved here. So that was done. Like the opportunity to see the Giants on the road against the Mets had passed. But anyway, I'm rambling, and I'm realizing this video is already 12 minutes long. But that's just like a quick little update of what's been going on and how we've been discovering little gems. I think I'm going to do like an actual written post eventually, talking a little bit more about the neighborhood, and hopefully future posts a little bit about the salon where I'm working, and maybe I'll do a virtual tour of the apartment too, because we really like our space. It's actually a little bit bigger than what we were living in Santa Cruz, and it's only costing us $60 more per month than what we were paying in Santa Cruz for our apartment and Luke's studio space, and all of our stuff is in one space now. So it's kind of awesome to have all of that. Luke actually has like a pretty good setup with his like studio monitors are hooked to our turntable, so we can listen to music on really good speakers. But he's also able to mix tracks of his album in his free time when he's not working on his writing. And so that's pretty cool. Oh, and one last thing, you should definitely take a look at his blog. If you would like to read some really good stories. He is writing short fiction and posting some of his flash fiction pieces on his blog, and it's called God's Teeth and Me at blogspot.com. And I really like his writing. I guess I'm kind of biased, but you should check it out because I think his stuff is pretty good. And I'll put a link below for it, just so that it's there. And I'm gonna go because this video is getting really long, and I want to sit and listen to the rainstorm. All right, bye.